Hi guys, welcome back to another layout process video. Today I'm scrapbooking two photos of my brother's girlfriend who was with us on our Europe trip, and she's just sitting on the curb in front of these colorful buildings. So there was just really pretty pastel pink, there was some like pastel yellows, all of these fun neutral colors, or not neutral, just soft light colors. And I thought it was really cute, so I definitely wanted to add this to my album. So I'm starting with a doily cluster on top of a floral paper. And this is one of those photos where it's not some special story or an incredible memory. I do a lot of pages that have photos that might not be the most incredible photography or perfectly framed photos, but they're like about the memory or the story that's going on. Whereas this one is a really pretty photo and it doesn't have much going on. It's just I thought it was cute and I wanted to scrapbook it. And it does tell a little bit about like the colorful architecture around the area, but it's not an incredibly deep story that goes with the photo. But it's kind of good to have a mixture of both and not to limit yourself on what's acceptable to scrapbook. You can just scrapbook a photo for whatever reason you decide you want to. So I'm just going ahead and adding some layers. I stuck with a pale pink and an aqua-y, like greenish color background for my colors and my accents, just to go with that floral background paper. And those are definitely colors I'm very comfortable using. I've used them plenty of times. So I'm starting with a matte on both of them that is these large pink and white stripes. And then I go in behind those with a shade of minty green. So one of them gets that chevron paper and the other one gets a floral type of paper, just so they pop out against the background. The background is a lot more white and pink, so I wanted to have a darker green shade as the background. And I also had that other large pink paper behind as an option, but I don't end up using it. So anyways, I'm just going to mat those guys down and we'll get on with the layout. So adding those three doilies in the background was something I hadn't done before, but I thought it was a fun way of creating layers that were soft and girly and had lots of texture in them. So it was kind of a fun little thing that I did, and I would do it again, I think. And it also is nice because it's pretty pale, and it's a bit see-through, a bit sheer, and there's all the holes, so you can still see a lot of the background peeking out behind it. But it also softens the background, so it's easier to focus on the photos you're scrapbooking. And I'm just trimming. I've been using my paper trimmer a lot more lately. Gotten through my lazy spell. I get really lazy sometimes and just use my scissors because I don't mind if the lines are perfectly straight. But it's being good lately and I've been using it, getting it some good use. So I decided to go for an angled kind of setup with the photos to go with the way the doilies were kind of falling. And I didn't want them to be next to each other. I wanted it to be a little bit more sporadic, I guess. And now I'm looking through my washi tape and my little tag collection, pull out some of my metal brads and some more washi tape. I realize I'm not going to use that paper, so I stick it away. And then tissue paper, my favorite thing I've been doing. Again, for the millionth time, I learned this little technique from Adele from Inky Quill. And this time I decided to go for some really skinny ruffles of tissue paper. So I cut the tissue paper and then I cut it in half. And I decide I'm not going to try and do an entire border. Usually I do it at the bottom of a photo, but this time I decided to go on the side of both photos and not go up the whole side. So this is, again, a really fun way to add texture. I mean, the tissue paper on top of the doilies, on top of the regular pattern paper, it just creates a really fun effect. So again, you just add a bit of double-sided tape and then you'll scrunch the tissue paper on top. It's kind of an accordion folding, scrunching motion. You'll see me do it in the video, which is much more clear than the way I'm trying to word it. But again, make sure you have your tissue paper right side down if you're doing the back of the photo like I am, so you get the pretty side. And I'm just scrunching it up, and it makes a cute little, like a tutu looking thing. It's just a little fun scrunchy edge. And I had a little extra, so I cut that chunk off, and I think I have the exact same amount extra, about that much, the next time. And I do the same thing, and I put one on the bottom right and one on the bottom left and one on the bottom right to have kind of a reverse diagonal. And while I was making this page, I was trying to think about my title. Sometimes my titles come to me really fast. Sometimes I don't have a title, which is kind of rare, or at least it's not like a super obvious title. And then sometimes I struggle with the title, and I've been doing so much in my Europe layouts or my Europe album lately. And then I'm just trimming the edges of that so it's more straight. But yeah, so I've been doing so many layouts in my Europe album lately that I've been kind of stumped with titles, and I don't want every title to be welcome to this place, welcome to this place, a day in this place, an afternoon in that place. And I've had so many of those titles recently, and because I have, I think, at least 60 spreads to do total, I've done a bunch of them, but in total it'll be around 60 spreads. I don't want every single title to be redundant. So I was thinking maybe of doing Flower Child because she's in front of all of this flowery background paper, but in the photo there's no flowers, so it doesn't really make sense. So I kind of struggle with the title on this one, and it's okay not to have a title, and it's also okay to not put a title down and think about it